I guess the baby in me has not grown yet. So I read a lot of books, and books have really helped me a lot, especially in my career, my self development journey, and all that. Currently, the book I'm reading is The Laws of Human Nature, and I must say, bless the author of that book because the things have. Hi guys, how y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. So, in today's video, we're going to be talking about self development tips. So, before we dive right in, what is self development? Self development are the little daily habits we practice in order to improve ourselves as individuals or in order to improve human capital. So, I talk about self development a lot. I also have a self development group where we teach each other, we learn from each other, we share our problems, our worries, our past experiences, our childhood traumas, and we learn how to heal from them. We also post quotes daily in the self development group, and we have class every Sunday. So, if you'll be interested to join, kindly leave your WhatsApp number in the comment section, subscribe, and I'm going to add you to our self development group. So, I love self development as a whole because I practice it a lot and I like encouraging others to practice it as well. So, before we start, self development is a journey. Like, it's not something that you can get up today and say, I'm done self developing, right? It's a journey, like, it never stops till you die. So, there are those little habits we do daily. Self development is a journey, not a destination. So, our very first self development tip is gratitude. Gratitude in being grateful for the things you have, what's happening in your life. Because in today's world, we have social media, we have a lot of things influencing us, so much so that we can become negative and we might not be aware of the blessings we have. But mind you, if you sit back and think about the things you have to be grateful for, you're going to see that it's going to be at least 50 things, right? So I practice a lot of gratitude personally. Like when I wake up in the morning, I write down what I'm grateful for in my journal. And even just by writing all the things I'm grateful for, it boosts like some positive emotions in me and it helps me go with the rest of my day in a positive note. Like that feeling of gratitude is very is very elevating. And also, let's take for example, if if you give something to somebody and the person doesn't tell you thank you and the person keeps coming back to ask for more, will you feel good giving it to the person? So when we are grateful to the universe, it opens more doors for us, right? Like if we ask for more, we are going to get, because if you're not grateful for the things you have now, what makes you think you'll be grateful for the things that will be added onto what you have? So practicing gratitude goes a long way to boost our self-confidence, elevates our positive emotions. Another second powerful self-development tip I practice a lot is meditation. Meditation has helped me a lot, especially with anxiety issues, fears, and things like that. But ever since I started meditating, I've become more calm. Like nothing really bothers me. I've learned how to live in the moment. So the meditation method I use is breathing in, holding my breath, and counting from 1 to 10, and breathing out, holding my breath, and counting from 1 to 10 as well. This goes a long way to like heal you even from past traumas, especially if you practice. Like when I started this meditation method, this breathing method, it took me just like 5 days, and I felt like something deep left me, some like pain in my chest. It left me so much so that right now, when I breathe in, I no longer feel that pain, like pains of the past, childhood trauma. So, meditating is healing. Like, you literally heal all those wounds. from childhood, pains of the past, and things like that. It also helps you to become empathetic, also helps you to be calm. Horrible things can be happening right now, but the way I'll be calm, which was not like that at first. So, meditating is a very powerful self development tip. Our third self development tip will be finding a new hobby. What are the things you like? What are the things you have like interest in? I, for one, I love creating content, like being creative, not just creating content, but I like being creative with my editing skills when it comes to editing my videos. And even recently, I love telling stories with my content. Like, as I do interior design, if I do a design for someone, I like to bring up a creative story about the design, not just talking about the design like that, the way it is, like this client asked for this. I like to frame a story about it that it's so real, but it's in a story form that is appealing and attracting. So those are one of my hobbies, creating content, storytelling. So you want to look for a hobby, something you find interest in, because it's going to give you like a sense of meaning. Another self-development tip is reading books. I know that in our world today we have a lot of social media, we have a lot of entertainment apps, but reading books is equally entertaining and it's also rewarding because when you read a book, you can learn new vocabulary, you can learn how to spell better, you can learn new words, you can also learn the context, what the book is trying to teach. Like, it also brings a sense of gratification, like that self gratification, because nobody can force you to read a self help book, for example, right? So when you read a self help book, for example, like let's say a book like Think and Grow Rich, when you read Think and Grow Rich and learn what it's teaching, you really feel like a sense of fulfillment, you feel happy. So reading goes a long way. Reading has helped me a lot. I read a lot of books when I was a kid, since when I was 3 years old, storybook, and even up till date, I still read storybooks. I guess the baby in me has not grown yet. So I read a lot of books, and books have really helped me a lot, especially in my career, my self development journey, and all that. Currently, the book I'm reading is The Laws of Human Nature, and I must say, bless the author of that book because the things I get to learn, I don't know if I can. And when once you read a book, the knowledge really sticks. Like, Robert Greene is the author of the book, and I so love the way he writes his books in story form. Like, he's telling a story, like everything is just so interesting. I do not regret for a minute ever picking up that book to read. So the book is so interesting. Sometimes I pick up the book with the aim of reading just for 20 minutes and I get lost in it for about an hour. So this is just to tell you how the self gratification you get from reading books is really enticing and fulfilling. And it takes a lot of self discipline to actually sit down to read a book, especially when there are so many distractions, social media, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram. It takes a lot of self discipline to read a book. But anyone who is intentional will read a book. So, reading books is one important self development tip. If you've not been reading, let this video motivate you to start reading now. So when we come to self-development and things about improving your personal self, sometimes we feel bad about our weaknesses. Instead of focusing on our strengths, we instead feel bad about our weaknesses, forgetting to know that everybody has weaknesses. We are all human, right? As duality, the law of duality says there's black and there's white. Anybody with strength has weaknesses as well. There's nobody that just is all round strength, or there's nobody that is all round weaknesses. So focus on your strengths, integrate your weaknesses into your strengths as well. Like, let's say for example your weaknesses are your shadow. Your weakness is your shadow side, right? Become aware of it. Most of the times we act in ways that are not acceptable in the society, but we don't admit it. Like me, I have my shadow side. I'm aware of it. Like when sometimes I even sit and laugh, like, really? Shadow, was that you acting? So sometimes I even make jokes of it. So, and once you integrate your shadow self into your conscious self, because no matter how you keep suppressing it, it's going to it's going to surface one day and it's going to embarrass you. So it's better you embrace your weaknesses and become aware of them. We cannot completely erase weaknesses, but at least we can control them. And you can only control your weakness if you're aware of it. You cannot control something you're not aware of, right? So focusing on your strength will give you self-confidence in order for you to embrace your weaknesses as well. I myself, I have weaknesses, but I know that I equally have strengths. I have good strengths as well as the weaknesses, and all these things are interwoven to make us human because no human is perfect. Another self development tip is nourishing yourself with healthy foods. When it comes to this topic, I'm gingering to talk about it because I've suffered in the past with illnesses, from one illness from having my tonsils removed to gastritis to digestion problems to spinal cord problems because of weight, and the weight was as a result of eating bad. Like I've been eating so bad in the past that it literally cost me my health, and I'm very appreciative for the kind of body I have because it once I'm eating bad, it tells me in the way it reacts. So nourishing yourself with healthy foods is very important because in as much as we're developing to become better, if we are not healthy, like they say, health is wealth. Once you're sick, the only prayer you have is to become better, is to feel well, right? So sometimes most of the things we eat are poisonous to our body. They are poisonous substances, and those who have bodies that cannot really react immediately is very dangerous because in the long run the body can only start reacting when a lot of damage has been caused. So it's very important to be very mindful of what you eat at first, because something is sold in a grocery shop, in a grocery store, or in a supermarket does not mean it's good for you. At first I'll buy anything I eat without even thinking of how it was produced, the process, or the calories it has, and all of that. But right now, I'm very intentional about what gets into my mouth. I eat healthy now. And ever since this year started, I had a lot of unhealthy weight last year, digestion problems, spinal cord problems, and even mental health, depression. The kind of foods we eat is directly like direct is directly proportional to our mental health. All these refined sugars, and once you start eating it, all this refined food, once you start eating it, you keep craving it, craving it, craving it, and the cycle continues. So I just had to cut out on all of that and now eat very healthy, like a lot of vegetables, lots of fruits, eating a balanced diet. And ever since I've been eating healthy, I've lost weight. My mental health has improved. All the anxiety, sad moments, moody moments has greatly improved because I feed myself with nutritious foods right now. And even as you can see, my skin is glowing because I'm no longer eating bad. So if you've been eating bad, let this be yourself as a motivation for you to start eating healthy. Tip number four, I don't know if it's number four or number five, but this tip is about overcoming your fears. Everybody has fears, everybody has insecurities, but in order to develop, just like we said, self development is a journey, it's not a destination. 3 years back, the things I used to be afraid of are not the same things I'm afraid of now, right? So in the past, were one of my fears was interacting with people. So recently I had this friend, we can be moving in the street and you just see him talking to people, random people. I'm like, what? How do you do this? Because that's something I will never, never do, right? But he told me even it was that bad that even when I go to seminars, I wouldn't network with anybody. And believe me, if you go to a seminar and you cannot network with anybody, it's as good as not going at all. Because in as much as you get what has been taught, you need to get one or two contacts, right? You need to make new friends. You need to connect with the like minds. So the first time I attended a seminar, I didn't network with anybody because I was shy, like, or I was afraid. Now, maybe if I walk up to this person, maybe they'll ignore me, or I don't know what I was really afraid of, but I just like to stay to myself. So when I saw my friend being very overly socializing with people, I now asked him how he does it. He told me, you never know whom you can meet, you never know whom can change your life. So it's always good to network with people, it's always good to ask questions, ask for help. So that's one fear I've really overcome, because I can now talk to people who are just moving randomly in the streets, or when I go for seminars now, I take people's contacts, I network, I ask them, which country are you from? Oh, I really love how you perform this and that. You compliment them, take their numbers, because your network is your net worth. If you don't have people, and as an entrepreneur, I just had to learn this skill of networking with people and overcoming those fears of just being to myself. I guess I was shy or I was timid. And the other day, I went to a restaurant. While I was leaving, I walked up to the waiter and talked to him. And he really helped me, because I needed like a few workers, and he recommended me to a few really good people. So if I did not network, if I did not take his contact, if I did not talk to him and just stay to myself, I will not have this great deal of people, right? So in effect, this point is saying that your fears become your limits. Whatever you're afraid of becomes a limit, it becomes a wall for you. So you need to break down those walls. There's literally nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing out there, guys. So if you have fears, if you have insecurities, you need to face your fears and break them. Another self development tip is creating better habits like money management, having a morning routine, exercising, eating healthy. Like there's some values about you have to prioritize. Like for me, I try to learn something new every day by reading every day, even if it's just a page. Read every day, and then I try to exercise at least 4 times a week. I try to practice gratitude. Like it's the little habits that leads to success. Another self-development tip is getting out of your comfort zone. So naturally, the human being is indifferent. We love what is easy and comfortable. But if you don't leave that comfortable position, you're not going to grow, right? Like right now, where I'm sitting, like I always put myself in those hard, tough situations to push me, to keep me going, right? Like it's not comfortable at all. I don't feel comfortable, even though I'm doing this video nicely, smiling and everything. But I'm not in a comfortable position right now. And once you put yourself in an uncomfortable position, you know that it has to be uncomfortable before it gets comfortable, right? And once you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and then you overcome it over time, you now, like, it really literally elevates you, it boosts your self-confidence to see that you can try bigger things, you can overcome bigger things. It also breaks down all your fears. So if you're in your comfort zone, if you are so attuned to your comfort zone, just know that that is the worst place for you to be in. As we are still young, vibrant in our 20s, it's the best time for us. We still have that energy. It's the best time for us to try new things. We shouldn't be afraid to fail. We should try new things, get out of our comfort zones, do what we have to do, even if it's so painful, because the reward is always going to be ahead. Self growth or self development requires a positive mindset from you all the time. You cannot be trying to self develop and you have a negative mindset. Most of the times, we are so negative, we self sabotage, we don't even want to think of getting out of our comfort zones because we think that things are not going to work out, like we're just filled with negativity. But believe you me, if you want to grow, yeah, the positive mindset has to be like your handbag. That's the only thing that is going to be your companion, because if you don't have that positive mindset, you might easily give up because you become negative, you not even see like what will I get from this will not be possible. But if you have that positive mindset, you always think positive, so much so that that positivity will become your reality. So guys, those are my few tips I had on self-development today in today's video. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be uploading more videos, so make sure you hit the notification button so when I upload something educative, you can be the first to know. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to see you in my next video.